Now you see, people bang on about, oh well, you know, you could get a 48k Atari, 800 that is, 48k ZX Spectrum. Trying to think what other 1982 computers there were. Oric 1 could have with 48k. But the thing is, it's not the extra 16k of the C64. It's the fact that there was only ever 64k of RAM. Now, to have 64k of RAM back in 1982, you know what that was like? It's like your PC having 128 gigabytes right now. How many people have got 128 gigabytes? It's pretty much unheard of, isn't it? So, you know, and that allowed people to basically, yeah, still loading, just had to check that, to basically start to write games that were just large, because they didn't have to worry about the you know, 16/48k Spectrum, 16k stroke 64k, plus 4 Atari. Most Atari games are 32k from that early 80s era. And this game is absolutely massive, 10,000 screens. Let's hope the joystick is in the right port. So I got the washing machine running. It's Saturday morning. I can hear the washing machine, so must be time for C64 games. So it's like an enormous arcade adventure. Although it all looks the same, you know, this is quite an early game. There's no cheats on this one. Always a little error there. So it's like a massive arcade adventure. I think you can drop as much as you want, but if you fall into the lava pits, then you're a bit screwed. Now, as a kid, I was like, this game is massive. Didn't understand how they did it. I know now, obviously. So yeah, you know, some tricky bits like this. So it is a full-blown arcade adventure, actually. And unlike NES rubbish, when the enemies hit you, they don't push you back, so you die. There you go, so you're into a new cavern, and new enemies to shoot. I think you press space or something, or there is a key you press and it will show you how much energy you got. That is the only thing with this game, that should be on the screen. But I'm going to attack this little, it's not really a review. I just wanted to talk about the fact that, you know, that the advantage of the C64 was every C64 game ever made had the option of using 64K, really. I think maybe change colour, who knows, mate. So it's a 4-colour game. Yeah, see? And that's really to keep the memory requirements down a bit. So you don't actually have to press fire, you're always firing. That's kind of a weird thing, but like I said, this is a really early game. So you wouldn't know that was a dead end. So that's a really important thing in part of like the 64's gaming library. There were great games for the 16K, you know, Commodore 16 and the 16K ZX Spectrum. Phoenix is one. You know, there are some. But it's important that a computer came out with a massive amount of memory, because it starts to allow you to have like games that are like really large from day one. Like I said, have you got 128 gig on your PC? No.
You get in there.
Very, very good way of extending or getting around the limitations of memory.
Yes, it's very good. But of course, there are other ways you can do it, which is shown by this game, which is called Quo Vadis, from a company called The Edge. And what they've done is they've written a game that's got 1,000 screens in it. So if you imagine that that's a 14-inch screen, if you were to put them all together and lay them out, you'd have an area of something like 46 feet by 30 feet. And so you
That would take a tremendous amount of memory, which this computer hasn't got.
No, you see, that's the clever bit. You see, they've developed a coding system which allows them to shrink that data down into a manageable size.
Yeah.
Now, we've got a bit of cardboard at the back with a diagram, which is going to make this a lot easier to explain.
I'm glad about that.
Yes.
It's quite complicated, isn't it?
Right. So the screen is made up of 6 graphics blocks that all fit together in a variety of combinations, and there are over 100 in the program itself, and you can combine them in different ways to make up the different screens. So when you move onto the screen, the computer takes out 6 bytes of memory, and each of those bytes represents one of these graphic blocks. It then decodes them, so it says, OK, that one there means there's platforms in that bit of the screen, that one means there's a tower, and so on. So it just builds the picture up as you move into the scene.
It takes its choice out of this, which represents the entire playing area. That's it, and that's a screen's worth.
Yeah, just 6 bytes.
Just 6 bytes.
Yeah.
So it's not using anything like its memory capacity. That's excellent. Now, I think we ought to really talk about the object of this game then as well.
Well, basically, the little chap can wander around inside and explore and find things. But there is a catch to this game. Hidden inside somewhere in one of those 1,000 locations is a scepter. And if you find that and answer a couple of questions, there's 30 grand, providing they've sold enough copies of the game.
Hold it! I found the scepter.
Wrong scepter. That's the part of the prize. You get that if you find the scepter in the program.
I thought I'd cracked it.
Good
Never
try,
mind,
though.
it was a nice try. Nice prize, too.
Not bad going.
Real one for a mythical game.